Hey, Kim here with Lead Generation Source, and I just wanted to go over a little bit about Octosuite for those of you who don't have it and are interested in what we're doing with it, and then for those of you who do have it and are interested to see how we're using it. And we're going to talk more about this on our Wednesday webinar, so if you are somebody who's not a part of Lead Generation Source, head on over to our Facebook group, and that's fb.com/groups/lead generation source, and just hit join and I'll approve you within a day and we'll get you going and catch you up on how we're doing this. So for Octosuite, I'm going to take you back a little bit. Back in 2016 is when I purchased this, and the reason why I initially purchased it was because the point of Octosuite when it was pitched to me back in 2016 was to join lots of groups on Facebook and spread your content and get a lot of people following your pages and coming back and interacting with you. And when I purchased it, almost instantly there were people complaining about getting banned and having issues, and that's not the software's fault, that's the user's fault, and the software didn't have enough restrictions in it. And so over time, which that would be almost 2 years now, Octosuite's come really far. And so for those of you who don't remember, Joanne had mentioned that she uses this for finding viral content. So that's when I show you a couple of things that differ from the sales page. And I encourage you to check out the sales page where he talks more about everything that you can get. So one of the things, there are actually two main features that I use this for. One of them is for discovering content. Now there used to be a way where you could go to the Facebook page finder and you could find pages that were in Facebook. The problem is that Facebook took their pages off of their API. So you can't access the search function in there with an API, and that's partly because they had a lot of bots scraping their site. So unfortunately, the API doesn't allow that, at least at this time. Who knows if it's going to change. So instead you have to find content a little differently. But instead, what you can do is once you have found your content, you can come back in here and you can look for viral content. So before we do that, let me also tell you that one of the other changes that Facebook made, and this was extremely recent, like as in last month, April, they made a change to how software can connect through their API. And for those who don't know what API means, it just is basically their portal to their software side. So that one software talks to the other software through the API. Think of it as like a translator. So in this instance, what this does is that in order to connect to the Facebook software, to Facebook through this software, you go through the API and you have to connect it. Well, in order to connect it, you have to do this every hour. There's a max, it times out after an hour. So you need to be logged into your Facebook account in order to do this or enter your information. So here you come into your settings, you connect the Facebook account, you say allow permissions, and then you wait. And now for me, this isn't for everybody, but for me, this is blank, right? So I close this, I generate the token, and here it's blank again, but I need to take this URL, copy it, and then paste it into here and save the token. Every hour you have to do that. So there's some pros and cons to it, and then you let Octosuite do its little thing, and it goes through and checks all your groups and everything. So if this is something you're interested in, is in joining groups and posting to groups and doing that type of stuff, this is probably a good resource for you. I don't use it that way because Facebook, for some reason, has this big hold over groups, and there's a lot of people get in trouble doing it. Now, it probably depends on the type of content, how frequently, etc. It would be good to post into other groups if you have, especially if you're an admin, right? If you're an admin of the group, heck yeah, this would be something that you should do because you're never going to report yourself to yourself. If you do, you might have some issues. So let's go back to the home part, and I'm going to show you now how I discover content. So I'm going to click on Facebook Discover. And this is the main feature that I use this for right now. This one and scheduling content. That's another one. So the Facebook page URL you put in here, right? You can do the URL or the ID, and I'll show you that in just a second. You can also look for photos, video, and links, and the order you can do most liked, most recent, or most viral. And all of these come in handy. Now, for those of you who are in Lead Generation Source, you probably hear me mention this. I don't have time to go over all of this, but one way that I use this software is to also look at trends, right? To see if a niche is something that I should be going into on Facebook. And since I don't have time to go over all of that, if that's something you're interested in and you already have Octosuite, then reach out to me through the lead generation source group. If you don't already have Octosuite, when you purchase it, I will provide you a link to some training on that. If you purchase it through my link, because then you'll automatically get it. If not, just reach out to me, and I'll still help you out. All right, so let's see. If I'm going to go into Facebook here, and for the most part, anything you do on Facebook, you need to be kind of logged in. But you can come up here and you can search, right? So I'm going to go ahead and search for baking, because that's what I've been doing for my baker site. So I'm going to go, oh, look, okay, here are different baking sites. Now, here they show you pages, and you can click see all, but sometimes that doesn't always work. So I come up here and I just click on pages. And so now I'm in the pages category. So now I can look for baking, I can look for baker, I can look for cake, I can look for cookie. In fact, that's probably what I should do is look for cookie. I haven't done that one yet. Let's do that one. Because I haven't searched any of those. Ooh, cookie decorating. Let's see if that one comes up with anything. And so the first thing that I look at, so I've really liked this page, that's funny. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and open that in a tab. 41,000 like this. That's not a lot, to be honest. Here's one, Wilton cake decorating. I'll right click and open that one. It's funny that didn't come up when I put in cake. American cake decorating, right click, open that one. And see, this one's only 64,000, this one's 1.7 million. So while that one is a lot bigger, they sell stuff. So their 1.7 million may or may not be necessarily what I'm looking at, and I'll show you in just a second. Here's one that's 237,000, so that's not too bad. I mean, anything over about 50,000 is probably a pretty big site, as long as they've been active recently. So then 1.5 thousand is kind of small, and that's local. DFW, that's the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's where I am right now. So Plano, Texas, that's not even close to me either. Doing it in Arlington. Anyway, so you can come here and you can see, if there's only a couple thousand likes, it's probably not worth looking at. Here's one that's actually cake decorating. And then I Heart Cake Decorating, 324,000 on this one. And so then what you can do is you can come in and you can either take this part right here where it says Cakes with Creative View. And if there's like a big old number after this, and some pages just haven't swapped it out. If they have low likes, if it's only like a few hundred likes or a few thousand likes, they may not have had the option to do a custom site yet, so custom name. So this may be like a really long with numbers. I've had a couple like that. Otherwise, you can just take that part, or you can take the whole link there. You don't need this last part, this slash with the reference. So I'm going to show it with just this part so you can see. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to come over to Octosuite. Now, what I do when I do this is I actually open up a notepad and I'll paste them in here so that way I can save it and go through them and delete the ones that I don't want to do, because you're going to go through this regularly, and once you find what's like a couple pages you like, you're going to come back and probably want to find their most recent when you go to schedule content. So I'm going to post that in there, and I'm actually going to look at video because my page, they like video. So I'm going to look at most viral. I'm going to say discover, and then I'm going to wait. And they actually only have 2 on here. One's 81 likes and one is 107 likes. I get more likes than that on mine, so I would actually not keep this. I would take this off of my list and say no thank you, because it doesn't work for my audience. So that's the first one. Now the second one, here's Wilton Cake Decorating, right? So I'm going to copy this, and you need to copy this up here because that's the actual name of the page. If you copy right here, or I guess you could if you can do it without clicking on it, copy just this section, which I can't do. So you could just copy that. That's the same thing at the wilton.cake.decorating. That's what that is right there, right? So you can probably copy it, but you don't want that @ sign. You just want the name. So we're going to copy that name, and I'm going to do most viral again. I'm going to say discover. Okay, here's a good one, right? 23,711 likes. That's good. Now that was 494 days ago, but that's okay. Even if you have like older ones, if you haven't shared the content before, you can revamp these as long as it's not fake news, because that gets annoying. But you can look at, let's say, well, you're like, well, I want to see something a little bit newer. You can go through most recent and discover that and see what they're posting. And so they have, this one was 4 days ago, 423 likes. That's still not horrible for this specific niche. 535 likes, and you'll see, like, what I've noticed is, look at these all have links in them, right? And I'll be honest, I've been doing a lot of testing, and links really reduce your reach. I mean, it just does. So all these sites, especially in the baking niche, they all have links now. And to them, I guess it's because they, they make more money that way. So that's what they're going to do. So I'm going to go back to most viral real quick. I'm going to see, well, of course, 494 days ago was a completely different set of parameters. So even though this one has a link, 494 days ago, I don't know if you guys remember back in January when they announced that they're going to minimize the page reach. Even before that, they started penalizing links significantly within the last year or so. So 494 days is more than a year ago. So this may have been pre-link penalization. But still, since this one was so good, I'm going to go ahead and share it. Now, there are two ways that you can do this. You can post it immediately, and I would actually change what's here because for two reasons. One, that's what they put on theirs, so it doesn't matter. Well, and actually, before you even do this, what I would do is view it and make sure that's something you like and it meets your dynamics of the page, right? You can push view. Sometimes these play really loud, so I just mute it. So here, this one looks like they're doing something related to unicorns, since that's what it says. Unicorn poop. Huh, nice. So that's trending, ironically. So I'm actually going to use this because that's funny and it works. All right, so I'm going to close that because I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and schedule this to my page. And I actually have a schedule open for tomorrow at 6 p.m. I have this chart that tells me what I need to do, and I try to put some affiliate links out there, monetize my site. And if that's a strategy you guys want to know, we can talk about that another time. So May 29th at 6 p.m. So let's go ahead and do, since that's actually technically today, take this out. I'm going to leave the unicorns there because I don't want to have to recopy them. If you do need to copy emojis, by the way, you should go to Emojipedia, and I'll put that up here. I'll pop that in here. Emojipedia.org. It's one of the easiest ones. Like you can come in here and type in unicorn, right? Come in here, unicorn, shows you the unicorn face, and you can hit copy. So I'm going to do poop because there is one in here for that. And I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to put, and you can do whatever you want, whatever the personality is for your page. I'm going to do a grinning, squinting face. Why not? And then come back into Octosuite and then say, here's an oldie but goodie. I don't know if their link's going to work, and that's part of the reason why I hate sharing links, because like 90% of the links I share end up not working shortly after I post them, or they're going to places that are completely not relevant. So I don't like sharing links, but unfortunately that's the niche. So I put some emojis are good to kind of capture the attention. And if you don't know if you're newer to Facebook and trying to get things to be viral and get that engagement, then come into Lead Generation Source, the group. Let us know. I've got lots of training. I've got other training from other people that I can refer to that are all free. So come on and join us. Let us know what you need help with. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and schedule this for today. What time did I say? 6 p.m. I said today at 6 p.m. Now there's been some concerns about, oh, look at the times are all in quarter hour, and there's been talk about how if you have it even that Facebook knows that you're using some sort of software. Okay, Facebook knows that anyway because you're going through their API. So if that's the reason why you don't want to post it at an even time, I wouldn't stress over that. Now, if it's because you don't want other people to know you're doing that, like a competitor or whatever, then you can always just, once you've scheduled it, you have to click my page. Oh, by the way, what's neat about this is that you can select multiple. I can speak. It's like 1:59 a.m. here. So you can select multiple of these if you wanted to, find like a bunch of them. Now, I'm just going to do it on Bakers because I can, and that's what I want to do. So I'm just going to put it on the Baker site, and then I just click there and it comes off. So just on Baker's, it's with the fan page is scheduled for there, and I'm going to schedule. So this says awesome, scheduled successfully to 1 pages, and I say okay. So now let's say that I want to go back into my Baker site, and you just X out of it. I kind of wish it would auto close because sometimes I get confused on whether I did it or not, but I'm going to go over here, show you on my Baker site. Come on. Bakers and cake makers. Yeah, it looks like I have some activity to reply to, but for now, I'm going to go into my publishing tools, and then I'm going to go into scheduled posts, and I'm going to go back to 6, 8 a.m., 10 a.m. Ooh, I have 2 10 a.m.s. That's not good. Well, this is a good example. So 10 a.m., 12 p.m. I'm missing a 2 p.m. There's a 4 p.m. There's a 6 p.m. right here. So actually, I'm going to throw one out there. I'm going to edit this one. And I'm going to change it to, I'm going to say reschedule, right? It shouldn't jump around like that. But so now you can reschedule it to what you want. Since I have 2 10 a.m.s, I'm actually going to change this to 8. And since I'm in here, I'll just do 04. And then I'm going to make this p.m. And I'm going to reschedule it. Spread that out a little bit more. Now I've been doing some testing in here on my page, and keep in mind, like, almost every single one of these has links. So the reach is very difficult with links. When I have no links, I get a better reach. Now if I get no links and a video that is more viral, I'm going to get a much larger reach, and we talk about that in how we do viral stuff. But this is one way that you can find viral content, and that's what we use it for, right? So we use this for finding viral content. Now this is that's quite a bit. Now again, like I said though, 494 days ago, you never know. Here's another one that's 543 days ago, 533. This one's 116, so that's better, but something about a big game this weekend. Here's a snowflake cookie tutorial. I mean, I could share that in the middle of summer when it's 100 degrees here and say, hey, anybody dreaming of winter? These might help, but you know, this is telling me that these are not that popular that they're not posting anything popular anymore. I mean, 204 days ago, there's nothing. Here's one that's 49 days ago, right? So let's see what this one is. This is like the most recent one. All right, 3 ways to decorate with tip 1M. So that's kind of specific to their audience and may not work for my audience. And I can still do it and test it. That's not the end of the world, but that's something that, you know, you have to look at those to make sure. Let's see, the next one, that wasn't that long ago. And even then, look at how many likes that one is. Where is it? 3,460. That is not viral likes. But I'm going to be honest, as I've done my research, and this is where I've figured out how to do niche research from this is not a very viral market. I mean, you might get 1 or 2 things here or there. You're not going to get the type of virality that Joanne got in her posts, for those who are in the group and saw that. Anyway, so that's one way that we use it. And then, of course, scheduling is another way. You can bulk schedule, and bulk scheduling would be useful for the most part. The problem with bulk scheduling is, let's say that I decided to bulk schedule these, right? And I'm going to go over here and say post selected. And so here's where I'm going to select my fan page or page. Yeah, I think you only do one at a time when you do it this way. So they tell you there's 3 videos, and you pick the date and you pick the time, and then you can do post and delay everything. But keep in mind that first of all, it's all from the same page. 1, 2, that remember when I said that, let's say if you come up here and you say share, this comes up. I believe that's going to stay. I haven't tested it, and I'm really not that interested in testing it right this second with you guys on here. But I mean, if that's something you're concerned about, I would play around with it or wait and see what I come up with, whichever. I'll keep playing with this because it's pretty cool. Like I said, the niche research alone is fun, and we'll cover that another time. So let's break this down. Octosuite. When you go to Octosuite, and there's the link on the page, but let me go ahead and just pull up just the main Octosuite, which you can go straight there, but it would be helpful. That's not helpful, is it? Let me pull up a different one that doesn't have a cookie on it. So if you go to lead generation source, I know I'm on Little Biz Resources, but that's okay. /Octo, I believe. It'll take you to the sales page, and I'll put a link from Little Biz Resources, not to this link, but to another one. So this is it, and when you scroll, when you pause that, and you scroll, sorry, scrolling really fast, you can see the amounts, right? So they have Octosuite Lite Edition, and it says 1 year membership. Then they have the Octosuite Basic Edition at $37 per year. This is per year. They do this because they want you to buy this. They don't expect people to buy these ones. This one it says post button is included but not scheduling, so you can't schedule. So if you want to do the scheduling, you want to do the searching, $47 one-time fee. It's just, I don't even know why they give these options. They should just make it the $47 one. It's the most valuable. It's the only one that's realistic for this, right? So there's this, and then there's something else in here. There's a couple of upsells, and a couple of the upsells that they have. One is syndication accounts. I did get the syndication accounts. I think that's the first upsell. You can only have 5. So there's 5 accounts, and then you can use, it's for Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. Now, obviously, if you have, when you get the $47 basic part, you get unlimited Facebook pages. So that in itself is worth the money, especially if you have more than a few pages. I have a ton of pages. I don't do much with all of them because, hey, it's hard to find content and build them up. Not now. Now it's so much easier. So I'll be probably doing more. So that's one thing to consider, is that the $47 covers all the Facebook pages. So now if you're looking at 5 accounts with Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn, keep in mind you're only going to have one LinkedIn account, right? I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to sign in with more than one LinkedIn. I obviously haven't tried this too much. Pinterest you can use, and just so you know, if this is something that you're interested in, IFTTT, which is the if this then that, you will post to Pinterest. Almost everything integrates with Twitter. So if you're like, oh, hey, you know, I don't know if it's valuable, if it's worth it or not. If you use these, it probably is, so that you can go ahead and schedule content quickly. I haven't done it. You can, if you're like, oh, hey, I don't really use that too much. A couple things to keep in mind. One is that they let you buy it afterwards, even though they claim it's a one-time offer. Second thing is that both Buffer and Hootsuite offer 3 accounts for free. So you could technically get an account with each one of them and have up to 6 accounts. The difference is, though, is that at least with Buffer, that connects to Instagram. And since you can have multiple Instagram accounts, it might be worthy of saving the free Buffer accounts for Instagram. And then, of course, this is a one-time fee, but I can't remember I think it's either $37 or $47 to add this on. So if it's something that you're like, oh, hey, yeah, I want to do this, this would be worth it. If you're going to be managing other people's accounts, you're probably going to need more than 5 anyway. So there you go. Something to consider. So let's see, what was the other upsell? Let me check my notes real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, so the syndication bundle, and then it goes to, I can't remember what the next one is, but one of them is a VIP training. And see, I actually have the VIP training. And let's see if I can get it on here. Yeah, so here's the VIP training. And so, you know, basically what he talks about in here is this right here, how to find clients and pitch to them. And I haven't been through all of it because I'm not really into that anymore. I used to be, but everybody I work with small business wise is not interested in paying you to do anything. They want you to do it, but they don't want to pay you for it. So, and then of course a lot of the stuff that's in here is old. So how well it's going to be, I don't know. I don't know that I think that's worthy of paying for it. We can talk about all of this in our group. So I would skip the VIP training unless you're really interested in monetizing to be a social media manager for them. And again, you're only going to be with 5 accounts on here. So how much you're going to be able to do, of course, unlimited Facebook, but how much you're going to be able to do is going to be kind of limited. There's one so I ended up getting the Octosuite, the Ocean Edition, the syndication bundle, and the VIP training. Like I said, the VIP training has some okay information, but a lot of it's pretty general, and we can discuss most of it anyway, and have discussed most of it as an updated topic. So, you know, purchase your own risk on that one. There's another one that gets mentioned, and I don't know what part, but it's called the Affiliate Link Cloaker and Image Editor Combo. And the problem I have, I did not purchase that, and part of the reason is because I guess I didn't really see a value in it. I mean, if you could cloak an affiliate link, you can cloak it with your site, and I already know you can't do that. So I don't see I don't see that that's going to work. So that's my concern with that one. If that's something that you're like, oh, hey, I really think that's awesome, I'm going to do it. Sure. I mean, you can deal with him on refunds if you want to. Personally, I don't see the benefit of it. It pulls images from public places, which you can do anyway, and there's plenty of other opportunities and options for doing that. But it's up to you. You know, you'll see the upsells when you do them. If you don't have Octosuite, you know, this is something I recommend at least for the Facebook, just the Facebook element of it. And let me show you why real quick, and then we'll be done. So Hootsuite is one of them. Let's say that you have 10. We're going to go with 10. You have 10. Well, let's say you have 15. No, let's just say 10. Doesn't matter. So we're going to say plans, and we're going to go, you're one user, right? 10 social profiles. So this is the plan for 10 social profiles. $19 a month. So if you pay $47, that's 2.47 months. So basically 2.5 months, right? That you've prepaid for 2.5 months and you get it for life, or until Facebook shuts down API access, whatever. Again. And they won't do that again. There's just too many things. I mean, Hootsuite wouldn't be able to do it. Nobody would. So buffer is pricing. You can do 8 social accounts, and they are $15 a month. So similar, right? Other than you get a few less. So let's say that you're doing divided by $15 a month. Now you're prepaying for 3.13 months. So the value really is there, especially if you have a lot of Facebook accounts, because you can't get enough free ones here. IFTTT will only let you connect your Facebook page once to them, as far as we know. So no matter what you do, there's a value, especially if you have multiple pages. And if you're just getting started in the social media marketing, into like being online, selling stuff, whatever it is, I don't want you to think in terms of you're gonna have one site and you're gonna make a ton of money, because nobody does that. None of the big gurus, none of the small gurus do that. Everybody ends up building more sites, more pages, more Facebook groups, etc. So there is a big value in Octosuite, and I have only covered a fraction of what it can do. Right? There's a lot of stuff in here. Twitter trends, YouTube search, royalty-free images, Reddit search. You can't use this anymore. So I haven't even looked at any of this stuff because personally I don't use it. So I might eventually, especially with YouTube. I'd like to see YouTube trends. Oh, I guess I probably didn't have to hit search again. So this is interesting. Now this is definitely an interesting resource. I mean, this would be great for creating some viral reactions. If you can, get some people talking about it. If you can't get them talking about Laurel and Yanny, I don't know what you're going to get them talking about though. So you can go through here and see kind of what's going on, what's trending. If you see something that you can monetize off of, that'd be great, So there's some definite opportunities in here. Then there's other things here, like in the bonuses, and he talks about this in the sales page. So I'm pretty sure you can get all these. But like there's the Facebook invite tool. Now, of course, we also encourage you to get the scripts. So I don't know if this one works or not. This is supposedly in there. Then there's a lot of WordPress plugins in here. So if you have a WordPress site, then there's some value in there as well. So that's kind of just what we've been using it for. And again, we'll talk more about this strategy and how to do this on Wednesday's webinar, as this is already half an hour. But if you're interested in, if you don't have it, purchase, and you're interested in purchasing, please purchase through our link. You'll help us support our technology habits. And trust me, my technology habits are expensive, where I test everything and try to bring them to you guys. And then, if you already have it, join us in the group. Make sure you come and learn some different ways to use this. And again, either way, if you have it or whether you purchase through us, it doesn't matter. Just contact me through Lead Generation Source if you already have Octosuite, and I will get you, I'm still building it, but I'll get you the training on how to do this, how to use this for niche research, because there's some important elements that you can definitely pull out of this to help you with that. So for that, let's go ahead and go. And again, let's type it up here so you guys can see it. FB, right? Yep, that helps if I don't have to skip around, huh? So just go to fb.com/groups/lead generation source. You don't have to capitalize it, and I'll also have a link somewhere around this video to go there. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all, whoever watches this or doesn't watch this, in the Lead Generation Source group. Thanks.